And good morning, everybody. Welcome, Hot Takes Goodman and Hurdle. 1 week from today, the Broncos Rookies Report. Here we go. We're getting close, Bruce. How you feeling?
And I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm ready. It's wind in the sails. You know how it is. You go through we rarely have downtime in Denver. There's generally always something going on. The one exception to that is the period that we've just kind of gone through. And we've had plenty of things to talk about during that stretch. So it's not all gloom and doom from a talk radio standpoint. But, you know, let's face it, the meat on the bone is the Denver Broncos, and it gets going next week. And, you know, that'll sustain us for the next 6-7 months.
If you are looking to have a great time this weekend or any weekend or really any day of the week, looking for a great lunch, great place to hang out with your friends, highly recommend. Sportsbook Bar and Grill in the DTC and the Highlands Ranch, outstanding food. I do takeout there all the time, but when I go in, I always have a great time. Belly up to the bar, usually with Mandy. We get the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, maybe some cheese curds, healthy stuff, obviously. And then we, right? And then, although she likes the Brussels sprouts a lot. That's healthy. That's
very
really
good.
Yep. Outstanding burgers and wings. And when you talk about going to a place where every seat's a good seat in the house, great seat in the house, that's the place to go. It is a sports bar that was founded by sports fans. So how you would design it, that's how they designed it. DTC Highlands Ranch, coming soon to Parker. Go check it out. Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Sasquatch Casino, a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
When we thought the biggest problem in Denver sports with a guy named Val was Valanciunas, now it's Jonas Valančiūnas, and he's not even officially here yet. He was speaking at a summit in Lithuania, and this is what he said when asked about joining the Nuggets, and I'm quoting, "When the trade is finalized, we'll come up with a plan. They will express their wishes, how they think, how they see it." He did not specifically say where he would prefer to play this season, whether it's Europe or the NBA. How do you read this?
Well, it's pretty cryptic, so I'm not sure how to really read it. So I'm not even going to try to read it. The next question is something that we talked about yesterday. Do you really want a guy here who's kind of, you know, jumping around the point and this, that, and the other thing? Here's what I would say to that. Do you think he wanted to be in Sacramento last year? Do you think he wanted to be in Washington last year? Here's my deal. It's about 19 minutes a game, 10 and a half, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. I don't care whether he wants to be here or not. If he's producing those kinds of numbers in a backup role for Nikola Jokic, I'll take his not wanting to be here all day long. Would it, in a perfect world, be best if the Nuggets could release him, demand a payback on his contract, which they would have the right to do, and then go get Al Horford? Yes. In a perfect world, that would be great. But there are no guarantees that you can get Horford, who supposedly is leaning towards the Golden State Warriors. So they have to come up with a backup for Nikola Jokic. The best option to me is the one that they already have on their roster. Figure it out.
Okay, let's start with this. You mentioned the 2 previous teams he has played for. It doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me.
No.
Losing, you know what's synonymous with winning? A lot of things, including the word fun. Yeah. It's a lot more fun to play when you are winning. Obviously, I get it. You would rather start. And oh, by the way, not to give you much pushback on this, but you're saying Golden State is the favorite.
So the reported favorite.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
They're the favorite now because the Nuggets haven't done anything.
Right.
They're the favorite because they're their only offer on the table right now. And if Al Horford really wanted to go to Golden State, he'd be there by now.
Yeah, it's a good call.
I am sure of it.
Yep.
I'm guessing what he is doing is waiting. Now, piggybacking on something that you said, you know, how much is he really going to want to play here? That's fair. That's a fair question. Do you really want a guy on your team that really doesn't seem that dedicated? Couldn't agree with you more on that. But let's take it a step further. You have guys right now training to win a championship. Is he training, or is he training to win a championship? Is he putting in the extra effort like Jokic we know will? We hope Murray does before he winds up getting to training camp. And then we have the other guys. We know what Aaron Gordon's going to be about, and so on and so forth. And, Christian Brown, by the way, has went through a complete body transformation.
Mm-hmm.
If you have seen pictures of what this guy looks like, he is rock solid, full of muscle now. Let's get to the Al Horford thing. Who would you rather have, Valanciunas or Horford, if you had your choice?
At their absolute best?
No, right now. Not 3-4 years ago. If it was 3-4 years ago, I would take Horford every single year. I'm talking about
It would be Valanciunas for me.
Why?
I just think that he is still a more active, vibrant player. I think he is. I think
Active.
so. I mean, he's pretty active. I mean, he's good defensively. He scores the ball. He passes the ball well for a big man.
Yeah.
He's going to give you 18 to 19 minutes if you need it every single night.
Okay.
I'm not sure that the fit is the best because of what we've talked about. He probably wants to start. Horford, I think, would come here with an understanding that he was going to be Jokic's wingman.
Yep.
All of those things have something to say, but from a standpoint of who they are as basketball players, I'm not saying there's a huge difference between the two, but I think Valanciunas probably fits for me more of what the Nuggets need.
Okay. I had a text exchange last night with a friend of mine who played a long time in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, who would you rather have? His response was, Valanciunas is a mini joker. Al Horford is a better leader. Now that you have, if you're going to go by exactly what my friend said, who played in the NBA for well over a decade, what would you rather have? The potential mini joker, and it's very much mini me. Okay.
Right.
No one's close to Joker, right?
Yeah.
But he's a mini. They play the same style of basketball where big guys and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But Jokic plays away from the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Horford plays from the basket, away from the basket a lot too.
Right.
What would you rather have? The leader, who he is unquestioned being a great leader, tough. I mean, look at that picture right there. Valanciunas' two arms together wouldn't equal Horford's best arm when it comes to, muscles. The guy is battle-tested, playoff-tested, a champion, pretty good three-point shooter, and he's a pest as well. Or would you rather have the mini joker?
Well, I mean, for me, automatically, and I'm not saying you're doing this, to assume that Al Horford comes in and takes a leadership role on this team.
Absolutely he does. That's why they're bringing him in. Yes.
Nah.
Why?
I mean, he has absolutely no history with any of this group. That is something I think it matters a lot.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
I think it matters a lot because I think that that's something or other that is earned. Being a leader is earned. You can be a leader with experience, and that's what you're referring to, and I get that. But that in and of itself, to me, is not enough. You've got to be able to lead being on the floor with the things that you do on the floor and having developed trust with the players that you're playing with. So to me, that takes just a little bit of time. So
you're talking about him like he's a rookie.
I'm not talking about him like he's a rookie. I'm talking about him like he's a veteran with a lot of tread off the tire.
He is a well-respected veteran around this.
I love Al Horford. And we're nitpicking over small things because to me, I think you're good with either one of these guys. I really do. And to me, it's not even, from my own personal sense, I'm not even going to argue between the two. I guess there's going to be some people that would prefer to have Al Horford. And if in a world of, if you could get you could guarantee getting Al Horford in here, then I would be all for it. There are no guarantees. And right now, Valanciunas is on your roster. He's a hell of a lot closer to Denver right now being in Lithuania than Al Horford is being wherever he is.
Let me skin this cat differently.
Okay.
Valanciunas is a member of the Denver Nuggets, right? In theory. After listening to his quote out of Lithuania, sounds like a guy who doesn't necessarily want to be here. Sounds like a guy who might want a buyout. Sounds like a guy who might want to be closer to his family. I said this to a friend of mine the other day. If he's going to use the family route, which is the most empathetic route,
of course,
who's going to say, how can you blame? I can't. Everyone's going to say, I can't blame the guy for wanting to be closer to his family, right?
Right, of course.
So you know what I do if I'm Josh Kroenke? I tell you what, Jonas, we'll give you your second year guaranteed. You want to come here?
Well, that would be the move.
No, wait. Well, yeah. Well, what about your fucking family, pro? What about your family? Bruce, what about your family? If this guy accepted a second year, I don't want to hear about your family.
Well, there's too many ifs here. We don't know how anyone is going to react. And you just assuming that he would automatically take the second year. To me, I don't have any. What's the empirical proof of that?
I am saying I would test it.
Okay.
If they're telling you privately, his group, if he is saying privately, I want to be closer to my family, calls bluff. Give him a second year. Guarantee it. And then if he accepts it, he was lying. Period.
And what do you gain by that?
Then you find out whether you can even trust the guy.
Trust the guy?
Yeah.
All we care about in terms of trust is what his numbers are night in and night out.
No, what we care about, I agree with you. But what we also care about is, does this guy want to play for this franchise? So I'll ask you, I'm going to skin this differently. Just by this metric alone, Valanciunas doesn't seem very committed to wanting to play for the Nuggets. Al Horford is a free agent. If he signs to play here, he clearly wants to play for the Nuggets. And he likes the trajectory of this team. And they could win another championship with him. Right. And that's attractive to him. Who would you rather have? The guy who wants to be here or the guy who clearly doesn't want to be here?
First of all, I don't accept the notion that Valanciunas definitively doesn't want to be here.
Why didn't he come out and say, I can't wait to join the Nuggets?
I don't know. I don't know why he answers things the way that he answers them. But
because it's been well reported, Bruce, that he wants to.
Eric, so he has said, so you have heard him say, I don't want to play for the Denver Nuggets. That's what you've heard. Because I'd like to see that quote. There is no quote out there where he says that. His quote was, we'll wait till the deal is finalized. We'll see what they want to do
about this. You're trying to split words.
You're being absolute about it, Eric. You're being absolute. And this is, there's no absolutes here. Here's the absolute. Valanciunas is on the Nuggets roster. The Nuggets control Jonas Valanciunas' future at this point in the NBA.
Yeah.
If it's going to be in the NBA, he's going to play for the Denver Nuggets. If he's not going to play in the NBA, then he's going to buy himself out of a contract. And the question will become very simply whether or not the timing works out for Al Horford. There are no guarantees that Al Horford wants to be a Denver Nugget. For all we know, Al Horford could be looking for the highest bidder. I don't know what his motivation is at this particular point. We all love to think about the carrot at the end of the stick being the great equalizer in all this. Hey, we want to win a championship. And I do believe in that. But I'm not sure what's pushing Al Horford at this particular point. If you're giving me without any of the details and without any of what are the roster realities and where is Horford now compared to where Valanciunas is now, would I rather have the guy who wants to be here? Duh. That goes without saying. But to me, there are far too many intangibles and moving parts right now to know exactly what the situation is. The Nuggets have a right to be concerned about this thing, and I'm sure that they are. But are they more concerned about I think that they're more concerned right now about just getting a guy in to back up Nikola Jokic. How they do it, I don't think even matters to them. They just want to get it done.
Did Valanciunas go to Greece?
Yes. Supposedly. Yes, he was reportedly in Athens last Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you something. You are, the way you are presenting it to me is this way. There are breadcrumbs on the trail. He went to Greece. He hasn't said, wow, this is a great move. I'm excited to win a championship. He has said nothing and went to Greece and then said this yesterday. I call those breadcrumbs. Those are breadcrumbs leading you to where you think.
Yeah, but it isn't the loaf. I mean, they're breadcrumbs.
Okay.
I agree.
You're pretending like the breadcrumbs aren't there. You're ignoring all of everything I just said. You're saying, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't prove anything. You're right. Maybe the breadcrumb is leading you over a cliff. Maybe the breadcrumbs are just by accident, but they're still there. If Al Horford wanted to sign a contract, and I'm guessing it's in front of him from Golden State, he would have signed by now. That is a breadcrumb. Guys in Greece, that's a breadcrumb. What he said yesterday, that's a breadcrumb. Hasn't said anything about maybe winning a championship for the guy who's been a loser his whole career wherever he's played. And now he has a chance to win a championship and play with a guy who at least is from the same continent as him. And, oh, by the way, 3 guys are on that team that are represented by the same people you're represented by. He has given us nothing to believe that he wants to be here. Those are breadcrumbs. You're just saying.
Then why didn't he just say, "I don't want"?
You're playing that we can't prove
Eric,
anything.
then why didn't he just say, "I don't want to be in Denver"?
Because I think he's posturing.
Okay.
Because I think he's trying to negotiate. I think either A wants a buyout, and my answer is F you. You signed a contract, bruh. That's what you did. Sorry about your family. You shouldn't have signed the contract. I believe in contracts. I believe that contract should not be broken under any circumstances. You made a decision, stick with it, follow through. Don't tell me you want more money. Don't tell me that. Listen, if you're having major issues with somebody and it's a bad working situation, that's where I can see maybe breaking a contract. Yeah. But not because you're not getting paid enough money or
of course.
I want to be closer to my family. What happened over the last 13 years? What happened in the last 13 years? Where's his family now? My understanding is they don't live in the United States. What, you can't afford a bigger house for them? They can't live over here? And by the way, Greece from Lithuania is still a 3-hour flight. It's not like you're hitchhiking over there. Okay? It's still a little bit of a trek, even though I get it is shorter. I'd rather have Al Horford, a guy who wants to be here, a proven veteran, a respected leader, tough. I mean, who you really here?
I mean, Valanciunas is tough. So let's at least cancel that out.
In a playoff game, who would you rather have on the floor? Valanciunas?
Al Horford has played in more of them, so probably Al Horford. I mean,
well, if he's not played in more, he's played in a lot more. Okay, I'd rather have that guy. I'd absolutely rather have that guy.
Fair enough.
I don't know Valanciunas' motives. But it's pretty easy to say, okay, this guy wants to be bought out. Why would the Nuggets buy him out? If you want to walk, and you get nothing. Go. And then what we'll do is we will take that $10 million that you walked away from and we'll apply it towards Al Horford.
That makes the most sense.
Correct.
Yeah,
but
question.
There is another idea that I think would be something to look into if I am the law firm of Tenzer and Wallace, and that is a trade. And I was talking to somebody else about this yesterday who's close to the Nuggets. So what about this idea? And he goes, oh my God, I've never thought of this. So I said, I need to run. I'm going to call Josh Kroenke right now.
You're the assistant GM.
Yes.
Now.
I am the guy who will fully admit that I'm not a talent evaluator. Okay. But I will try and convince you that I know more about basketball than you, which I don't. However, I think they have another possibility besides Horford and besides Valanciunas. And it would be a huge upgrade, specifically offensively. And I think this would actually work. Would you like to know what it is?
Sure.
I'll tell you after the break. Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. Don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corn bake. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch in the DTC. Both locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook is a hangout bar or great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, the DTC, and coming soon to Parker. They are the sports bar.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a pair of Spider Cruisers or over $15,000 in cash the weekend of July 18th, just in time for the Sturgis Bike Rally in South Dakota. That's right, your choice, cruisers or $15,000 in cash. Get finalist entries every 45 minutes from 10 a.m. to midnight during their daily cash drawing with a locked-up jackpot of $100 or more. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, loose slots, great promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Welcome back. Hot Takes. Goodman and Hurdle teased it going into the break. Here's an idea for the young front office if they are interested in possibly looking into this. Here's a creative way to get rid of Valanciunas and really upgrade at that position. I don't know exactly how this would work, but I'm sure they're creative enough to figure it out. If they can find a way to get rid of Valanciunas with no buyout, do you think that's possible?
Well, the buyout would come from Valanciunas buying out his contract to the Nuggets. So,
right. In theory, he's giving back $10 million, right?
Yeah, right. In theory, yeah.
He
absolutely.
wants the Nuggets to buy him out. That's what he wants. He wants like a couple million to go away. Instead of you paying me 10, pay me 2, and then I'll walk. So
I mean, the Nuggets could just release him. I mean, why in the world would they give him any money to go away? You could just release him outright. So okay, whatever.
Well, no, you have to pay him. He's owed $10 million. You can't just release him. You got to pay him, right? He has $10 million on his contract.
He's walking out on his contract.
Say it again.
He's the one that's more liable in this situation. He's the one walking out on his contract. Why would the Nuggets have to pay him anything at all?
Okay. This is what I would do. I would take Valanciunas and I would trade him to the Chicago Bulls. Teams are always looking for an expiring contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the ultimate expiring contract.
Yes, he is. Right.
It expires immediately. The Bulls, through multiple reports, are looking to deal Nikola Jokic, who happens to be a center, who happened last year to average 18 points and 10 rebounds a game and 5 assists. He has 1 year left on his deal, and he's getting paid $21 million. So you trade him, and then maybe, just maybe, to balance it all out, instead of paying Vujacic $21 million this year, and you don't want him, have the Nuggets throw in Zeke Naji, which they can spread out that $21 million. Actually, he has 2 years left on his deal and then a player option. $8 million this year, a little over $7 million. So he roughly has left on his deal about $22 million. For the Bulls, they'll just spread that out over 3 years. And there's your deal. Then you get Vujacic for 1 year. And he's a bigger upgrade, honestly, than Horford and Valanciunas.
How many minutes is he going to get?
You give him what you give him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a starter in this league. I
right.
get it.
Yeah, big time starter.
But a big time backup as well. Would you rent him for 1 year? I would.
So long as he wanted to come and play and be in that kind of role. I don't think it's always automatic.
Who doesn't want to come to win?
Valanciunas, apparently.
Yeah, you kind of got me on that one.
Well,
but
I mean, and I'm not trying to get you on it. I mean, I'm really not, because you and I don't disagree that much. I mean, we are of a like mind, and we're arguing in the margins here a little bit. That would be my concern. That's certainly a guy that wants to play.
Yeah.
Do we romanticize too much the willingness of a player to give things up in order to try to win a championship? He would know that he can't win a championship in Chicago.
Correct.
So is the goal to win a ring at all cost? Would it mean, hey, I don't need to be a starter? I think a rare player in the NBA. I really do.
Bruce, he has 1 year left on his contract. He'll be a free agent next year. He'll get to pick where he wants to go. Yeah. So to go to Denver for 1 year, that's the difference between living in a mansion and living in an outhouse in Chicago.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Still as a backup. I mean, I think there's a badge of, I just don't think that every player out there in the NBA, I would say in the NFL, it's about a 99% buy-in. We want to win a Super Bowl. In the NBA, I think there are other factors that roll into it. And one of them is playing time, being a starter, being a guy, being the main guy, being whatever the case may be. I don't know the answer to that in this player's particular case. I don't know.
He's still getting paid.
Yep.
He has a chance to win a championship,
and
it's for 1 year. What else is there to think about?
I don't know. I'd have to ask him.
I mean, unless you're suggesting he comes here, his minutes get shaved, and suddenly he looks like garbage, and now he's not going to get paid moving forward. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
I'm saying for Tenzer and Wallace, Bulls want to get rid of this guy. He'd be a great fit for you. He's a center. He fits what you are looking for. And, oh, by the way, he's a 40+% three-point shooter.
Yeah. I applaud the creativity.
Thank you. Me or them? Because I don't know if they've thought about it yet. They should call me. Listen, this is my number.
Should.
Let's give them my number just in case they need a little. Listen, again, they're young kids. I'm almost 57.
Yes.
What they need to realize is this. They have far more basketball knowledge than I do. I freely admit that. But there is a difference between knowledge and wisdom. And I have wisdom in spades. And here's the difference, Bruce. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing that a tomato does not belong in a fruit salad. I'm really good at the second part.
Ding, ding,
They're
ding,
really
ding,
good
ding.
at the first part.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. It is a fluid situation that remains, unfortunately, far more interesting than it needs to be right now. You would really like to see the Nuggets take their flowers for the offseason that they've clearly had. And regardless of how this situation works out, they will still be better for it. They may not just be as good as they could have been for it. So that part of the situation remains fluid. And in the meantime, we just have to settle for watching Deron Holmes and Tyson Hunter in Las Vegas and see if let's not forget Deron Holmes in this mix, right? I mean, totally unproven.
They're going to have, Bruce, we don't have to think about Deron Holmes. Here's the reason why. They're either going to have Valanciunas or Horford. One of
you
them.
would think so, right?
I know
That's
so.
right.
They're going to have one of the two, because remember when you were in college, when you wanted to change classes, the terminology is drop and add. You don't drop a class until you've already added one.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning all you have to do is check a box when you've added it.
Right.
You check the box, then drop. They are not going to let Valanciunas out of a deal unless they know Al Horford is standing there with a pen and a contract in front of him, and it says Nuggets on top.
Could very well be.
They will have one of those. Let's say Horford today decides to sign with Golden State. Valanciunas' leverage, anything that he had, is now completely gone.
Yeah, like I said.
Valanciunas' best hope is that Al Horford doesn't make a decision before he does.
Yeah.
Al Horford says, I'm gone, and I'm going to Golden State. Valanciunas is here. If Al Horford says, listen, there's a lot of backdoor conversations going on.
Of course, right.
I'm sure Tenzer and Wallace have talked to Horford's agent and said, okay, is he going to sign for this if we offer it to him? And if the answer is yes, and they're still having problems with Valanciunas, you wind up making that move. All of this stuff is, unless you're stupid, all of this stuff is completely pre-planned. They know exactly what's going to happen next because all of the groundwork has been laid down.
Well, I will say this about Tenzer and Wallace. With the week they had a week ago, I would say that they're pretty damned organized. I would say that they've got a pretty good plan for them to. Yeah. So
by the way, Valanciunas can't just walk away. FIBA will not allow him to play in Greece.
That is correct.
So my point is Valanciunas can't just walk.
No.
If he can't just walk away from a $10 million contract. What he wants is a buyout from the Nuggets. That's the way buyouts work. He's not buying the team out. They're buying him out. We'll give you $2 million, and now we've saved $8, and you can go walk. They're not going to give him anything.
I wouldn't give him him a single penny.
Then the negotiations are done.
Yeah,
I think what he wants is a buyout, or he wants a guarantee of maybe a player option next year, maybe fully guaranteed $10 million. But listen, I'm not over in Lithuania, and I'll be honest.
You're not in Vilnius.
Yeah, and I don't read all of the
Right.
sports journalists in Greece because I don't speak Greek. But from what I've read through translation, he wants to be closer to his family, which I get. Okay. My question is, why wasn't your family here to begin with? You've only played in the NBA for 13 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So calls bluff. Find out if he's lying. We will give you that $10 million guaranteed. If he takes it, then his family isn't as important.
How about the places that he's gone? Toronto on the ramp up to their championship, but didn't play there.
Yep.
So, and then New Orleans.
Yeah.
Memphis. Now,
right.
Memphis was competitive. Then Sacramento and Washington. is that just an odd pilgrimage through, I don't want to say the backwaters of the NBA. I don't want to, I don't mean it that way. It's just an odd, weird kind of path that he's taken. He really hasn't played for a solid contender, a really solid first rate. This is a team that could win a championship kind of club.
This is what my grandmother used to say to me when I was young. There are a lot of things as a kid you don't like to eat. Could be vegetables, could be something else. And whenever I'd look at something she'd cook, she would say the same thing to me every single time. And I'll say it in her voice. Eric, try it. You'll like it. Try it. You might like it. That's what I would say to Valančiūnas. Come to Denver. Try it. You'll like it. Look at where you've been. You've been shacking up at the Hampton Inn and Motel 8 your entire career. How would you like to walk into the Four Seasons for a year?
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's like I said, fluid situation that I really have. I'm not going to say I have no idea, because I agree with you. It's going to be either or, one of these two guys. But how we get there still, to me, is somewhat fascinating.
Okay, let's talk about Nikola Jokic. He turned down, or he's not going to be accepting the extension they're offering. Another 3 years, $212 million. This should come as no surprise. Is that fair to say?
Right. Yes, I think it is fair to say. At this point, I'm not sure what he really gains by it.
I'll tell you what he gains.
Okay.
If he signs after the season, he gains an extra $80 million.
Well, there you go.
That's why. And it's funny because Josh Kroenke talked about it at the press conference, in which everybody thought Josh Kroenke was somehow actively sending out signals that Nikola Jokic might not be here for the rest of his career, which is foolish.
Totally.
That's not what Josh meant at all.
No.
But he did say, we'll offer him the deal. And he said it very matter-of-factly.
Yeah, but he knew they wouldn't take it. Yeah.
We'll offer it to him. Here you go. But he said, we're going to advise him on what makes the best financial sense for him as well. We will lay out all the options for him. And I'm guessing Josh said to him, it might help us with the cap a little bit if you don't sign it right now, maybe. But you're going to make $80 more million if you sign after the season. And I think that Josh Kroenke genuinely cares about his players.
No question.
I think that he would
agree.
try and, have some fine print that maybe somebody didn't see. Like the fine print could be, if you sign after the season, I owe you an extra $80 million. Right? Or okay. He wants what's right for his players. That and I go back many, many years in which how Kroenke is approaching this is how Jerry Reinsdorf tried to approach it with Scottie Pippen. When Scottie Pippen signed his long-term deal after his rookie contract, Reinsdorf said, this is what I'm offering you. Please don't sign this. You're going to regret it in 6 years. But Pippen wanted the money right away. Pippen wanted to be paid. And when he was paid, when he did sign that contract at that moment, he was a highly paid player in the league. But after about 5 years, for his talent, he was nowhere near the top. And then Pippen got pissed about it. And he sat out games. And I'm not saying he faked injuries, but he wanted out of Chicago because he felt, I'm not getting paid what I'm worth. And Reinsdorf told him, if you sign this contract right now, you'll be handsomely paid at the moment. But in 5 years, if your career continues, you're going to be underpaid. Just want to let you know that. And that's one reason why things didn't end well with Pippen and the Bulls.
Yeah.
He was so upset with Reinsdorf and Krause, even though Reinsdorf warned him, don't sign this particular contract. Wait.
And it's been a key component in the friction that still exists between he and Jordan and he and the Bulls. No question about it.
So my point is,
yeah.
I think Kroenke is doing the same thing with Jokic. Don't sign this now. You're going to get paid more later.
Yeah.
I'll say this, though. If the Nuggets did not do any improvement this offseason and Jokic was offered this contract and didn't sign it, which you wouldn't expect him to, because there's another 80 million waiting for him, I'd be a little worried.
I would too. How much is Nikola Jokic behind the scenes playing in this backup center drama that's unfolding?
I hope a lot.
Me too. Me too.
I mean, I can't imagine how Jokic has not wanted to talk to Valanciunas and say,
Right.
listen, we can do something special together.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I would expect that he would be very motivated by this.
And
very motivated.
And it's not like Jokic doesn't have his phone number. They're represented by the same guy. Yep. The same firm also represents Murray and Gordon. So there's plenty of potential communication.
Yeah.
But right now, I can see why fans are pissed. This guy doesn't want to join our team. This guy doesn't want to be part of our family. F him. Get the hell out. Don't need you. But the truth is, and we may disagree on this, I think Al Horford's a better option. I think Al Horford is a far superior defensive player.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He's a terrific defensive player. He's a well-respected veteran. He would literally walk in the door and he would instantly become a leader on this team. I'm not saying day one, but this guy's work ethic is really high, well-respected. Within a matter of weeks, people will look at him and say, what'd you say, Al? What would you like us to do? So on and so forth. He's a great fit. A great fit. I would take him over Valanciunas.
I think both of them are pretty good fits for what they bring to the table. I really do, in different ways. And I think that we've done a pretty good job indicating those pretty much throughout this show.
I don't think we have. Would you like to go another 40 minutes?
Oh my gosh. Well, we could. There's always worse ways to spend time than hanging out for another 40 minutes.
What are those ways?
Oh, let me count the ways.
Well, count one. I want to hear one idea.
Nothing. There's nothing. I mean, there are very few things that I'd rather do. My laundry, maybe.
Well, have at it. Make it the best possible day you can.